Honey, I dash.
Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. The scene a short time ago, this crowd decked out in purple, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football, folks, as the Vikings get set to do battle with the Chicago Bears. Here we go, the final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. That's fielded in the end zone, and no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. They'll run with a third-year man. This is Tariq Cohen. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Here's Trubisky to throw. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line. He's coming off a 3-interception performance last week, so certainly not how he wanted to start here.
Not at all, but this is where a quarterback gets tested. This is where we find out what he has underneath that jersey. Because he had a bad game last week. Can he shake off a bad start to this one and start to perform at the level he expects?
Jahan, where are you?
59. Watch the pass. Watch the pass. Deuce.
Hey, Ken.
Check it out, read. Watch safety creep.
Hey, Steamer.
Safety's creeping.
Undercrush. Wait, Jahan.
Here's Dalvin Cook, third-year back from Florida State. 20. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. A big play there out of Cook. 46 yards.
First and goal at the 1-yard line.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal.
Don't let him breathe.
Two.
Don't let him breathe, defense.
Hey, yo.
Show it up. Alert 3.
Wait, Jahan.
A run for Tony Pollard, the Memphis product. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Tony Pollard, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And it's now a 7-0 game.
7, Bears nothing.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 the score as they start 1st and 10. They run on first down as they're able to get this forward for about 4. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Right here.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Trubisky. And the hook up here to Allen Robinson. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. And he's taken down inside the 30. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
His throw caught right around the 6. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Taylor Gabriel with touchdown number 12 on the year as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter.
Kill. Hey, turn it up. Rush in, 6'6", pull it high.
Four sevens the mic.
Alert. We ain't begun.
From the shotgun is Trubisky. Looking in zone, but it's incomplete. So why go for that there? First half, you could have tied the game at 7. Why try to get the lead?
Feels like an analytics call, doesn't it? That's starting to really get into the game where they're studying where you can make extra points and the whole deal and, get an advantage. But I don't know that we have enough data yet to really say this is the right play or the wrong play. Maybe in 2 or 3 more NFL seasons.
Could change.
Exactly. 2 or 3 more NFL seasons, I think we'll have a much better study and a much better case of what we're going to do.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6 at the 29-yard line.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Quicker, Omaha. You don't know no better. Shoot. Pick the edge. Come.
Check.
Two.
Check.
61, matchbox lights.
Pollard going to try the right side. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
One thing rookies need to learn at this level and quick, make a cut, be decisive, and go. Because in college, you could dance around and wait for a hole to open because you're probably a better athlete than most of the guys on the field, but not on the NFL level.
Yellow. Check 4. Hey, flipper.
Switch. Check 24.
Bingo. First.
On 3rd down, Cousins fighting to stay upright. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Leonard Floyd, the old Georgia Bulldog, finding his way into the backfield.
Now that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Bears take over. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They'll start things on first with Torrey Cohen. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And finally taken down at the 34. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
They'll throw on first down with Trubisky. There goes a deep ball, end zone, and that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Well, you've got a receiver here who's got one touchdown already in this first quarter, and they were trying to double his pleasure there, wanting to continue to go to the guys already gotten into the end zone. But good coverage to make sure that this time it fell incomplete.
On second down, it's Cohen. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 11 yards there, first down. After one, a one-point game, 7-6. The Bears with the football. We get set to begin quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Now Trubisky to throw. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith, and he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
Now a run with Cook. Takes this to the 27. Give him 4 yards.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
At the 27-yard line.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
You run. 36.
On second down, it's Pollard. Roquan Smith, fresh off a solid rookie campaign, in on the tackle for Chicago.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Let's go, D. Big series right here. We got to step it up.
Check 59, Mike. Mike is 59. Mike to 59. Here we go.
Cousins to throw it. And he's got his tight end. That's Smith. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
And this third down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long.
59, Mike. Check, 59. Come on. Hey, flipper. Under 10. Rhino. Jump.
From the gun, here's Cousins. And he's able to find Diggs. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A gain of 19 and picking up the first.
Vikings, first down. 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Check nickel. Slam. Hey. Black.
Check 24.
Cousins gives way to Cook. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40.
That's it, baby.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Check wide. Mike is 59.
From the 40 now on second down. Cousins. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
Check. Check. Hot route. Hot.
SOS.
Leave it. Bring up 48.
SOS.
Check. Check 31. Check 31.
Hey, watch.
Protein spill. He's crashing. He's checking crash.
On the ground, it's Cook. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10.
Stop here, D.
Hey, Ringo, 48. Get wide. Hey, Steamer. Watch the twist. Tighten up.
Alert flare.
Hey, 382, last 50.
They'll go with Pollard here on 1st down. And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
First. 58 to Mike. You must be getting tired of seeing me.
And 58 is a Mike. Go 50.
Yo. All day, punt. Out. Twig. Hey, flipper.
Working out of the gun, Cousins. And that is incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Here's Matt Weil now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. This is fielded inside the 5. It'll be a 40-yard punt, 8 on the return, and it'll be 1st and 10 Bears from deep in their own territory. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects it.
Can't wait to see it.
Now Trubisky lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And a 1st and goal coming up here inside the 10-yard line.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect him.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the 2nd half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of 6s back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Out of the gun, Trubisky. Open man is Trey Burton. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first. Throwing here, Trubisky. This is Gabriel out on the left side. Now the Bears will use their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Trubisky will come up here first and 10, and he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Cohen. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check.
Pressure comes, and Trubisky goes down. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Final play of the half. It's Trubisky. Open man is Miller. He's got it. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Watch the 59. Watch the run. Watch the run. Watch the run.
He finds Hearns left side. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 12 yards there and a first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Check done.
The first run for the backup, Abdullah. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Push him back. Check 3.
50-50.
Big ass.
Line out. Watch that.
Now Pollard. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Hey, flip it.
3rd down, Dalvin Cook. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. It's a pickup of 6, but it's not going to be enough. And the punt team's going to be summoned on 4th down.
It's 4th down.
And in their own territory, needing only a few inches, they're going to line up to go for this thing on 4th down. They'll run for it. Cook. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on 4th.
Vikings, first down. 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. This is Abdullah. Able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now we've got movement up front, and I think this is going to be on Minnesota. So that'll back them up 5. And that false start penalty is certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long.
He's coming. Double up, double up.
Cook following the penalty. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. To throw, Cousins. It's caught, Jones. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 26.
That's good for the Vikings. 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line.
Squeeze, double. Hey, look.
Rose.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
And 12 at the Bears' 28-yard line.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12.
Check 13.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. It was the linebacker Leonard Floyd on the stop. This defense, tough to run against. And those linebackers, they'll go side to side up the field, and there they get them for no gain.
If you can't get linemen upfield to the 2nd level to occupy them, they have a field day just running to the football and putting ball carriers on the ground. Not many yards after contact when they wrap up like that.
Get that ball.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. Losing 4 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
A 49-yard attempt.
1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Bailey's kick is good, and they bump the lead up to 4 now at 10-6. So they get to 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. Now after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. They begin the drive on the ground with Cohen. On the tackle, it's Trey Waynes.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Check.
Hey, work.
He's moving, boys,
Again, it's Cohen. He takes this for 3 to the 29.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Here's Trubisky. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. Oh, Cohen lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Well, let's see now, Charles. That's 7 turnovers between last week and this week. 3 here in this game, 4 in last week's game.
You know I do my research, right? And I go all the way back to the best coaches that have ever been in this game. And all of them started with ball security in some form or another, understanding that taking care of the ball was the key to winning games. They can't believe what they're seeing right now because they spend all this time on it with the fundamentals, taking care of it, tucking it away, and they're not doing it.
Hey, Steamer. Step back. Check 24. Check 24.
Back to the ground. This time, Cook. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4. Fourth quarter, you've got the lead. You have to stay in bounds and run that clock. Coaches, that'll drive them crazy.
Sacrifice a yard or 2 if you have to. Just go down, in bounds, keep that clock going. It's almost like he was caring more about his fantasy stats than it was about winning the game, and that has to drive a coach crazy.
That's track. Check 99. Check 99. Lost twist. Jim.
Can't.
Mike's 59.
Hey, flipper.
Hey, pick it up, defense.
On 3rd down, it's Pollard. And he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the first. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And Bailey able to knock it through. And that'll open the lead up to a touchdown now at 13-6. But from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive, a little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right? Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13. They'll run on 2nd down with Cohen. He'll get about 4 as he's past the 35 to the 38-yard line.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Now Trubisky. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. Clinton Dix, the former Packer, in on the tackle. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Now, this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Again, it's Cook. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left.
Dan Bailey on for the field goal.
And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And that one makes this a 10-point game at 16-6. So that's a big one. Obviously, Charles makes it a 2-score game. His third field goal of the game, able to knock it through.
Yeah, not exactly free and clear yet, but as a defense, you get to play a little bit looser, don't you? Because you do now have a little bit of a margin of error, don't you?
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Trubisky to throw. Now Trubisky lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Come get some. Come on, come get some. Alert, alert. Alert, alert. Kill, kill, kill. Kill, kill.
Now it's Trubisky. And this is Gabriel on the catch.
Trubisky's pass.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
He's going to let it fly. Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. Touchdown, Chicago. Cordero Patterson scoring a touchdown against his former mates as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. They'll look to throw, and they're going to get the 2. It's caught, and the lead is cut to 2 here in the 4th.
16. Bears 14.
So still a small chance here with a little over 30 seconds to go, but they're definitely going to need this one to bounce their way. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory, and it wasn't really always pretty. They had their bumps and bruises, really both sides did, but they did what they needed to do at home to get the win.
Yeah, they really had to grind this one out, didn't they? Because nothing came easy. Every snap was a major league brawl. They had to win at the line of scrimmage, win downfield. They got all those things accomplished. But to win a close one like this, you know, every team wants to be physical. We've heard that a million times, right? But those who are mentally tough, those are the teams that you have to deal with in the playoffs. This was that type of a game.
So for Minnesota, they will indeed finish over 500 at 9-7. And that is maybe not exactly what they were hoping for, but a better than average season nonetheless. Meanwhile, for Chicago, despite the loss here, they're going to wind up with a very good 11-5 overall mark. And as division champs, they will host a playoff game next week in the wild card round. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.